Good morning, Meka Alban Ya Oshoral, and welcome to Truth Matters Broadcasting, where we discern the truth about religion, the kingdom of Yahweh, the kingdom of God, and the church. Truth Matters Broadcasting, TMB for short, is an online ministry that is for your edification and spiritual enlightenment. It is a place where you can come and hear a message that you don't normally hear, a message that will make you think, a message that will make you get angry, a message that will make you get pissed off and downright disgusting, a message that will make you go back home and say, okay, let me look into what he's talking about. A message that will make you disagree with me and say, I don't believe it, I'm not in agreement with that. Truth Matters Broadcasting is the place where you can think for yourself, ladies and gentlemen. The goal and objective of my ministry is to give you an opportunity to hear things and make your own decision. But most important, to really test the epitome, test your faith to its core, test your religion, which your faith is built on. It's designed to test you to see whether or not you can survive this message, whether you can survive your belief system, whether your belief system can stand. So this message, it depends on you. This message depends on you. And why it does it depend on you? Because it's really all about you. The eternal God is eternal and he stands all by himself. And it is he has to find us and his words has to be in us because it's already in us. The question is, can you allow yourself to find him? Can you allow yourselves to love him? And so you will hear a message here that I said, you will hear things here that will make your belly go puke. I'm telling you, you will be very disgusted with me because the truth does matter and the truth does hurt. So before I start, once again, if you're just joining me, my name is Meka Albania Hosharal. And this is Truth Matters Broadcasting, where we discern for ourselves the truth about religion, the kingdom of Yahweh, the kingdom of God, and the church. My message of inspiration today, I got this morning early, and I thank Yahweh for waking me up this morning, giving me a new day. And I'm inspired to just tell you something. So the message is, can I just tell you? Can I just tell you? Now, that's all I can do. I cannot make you. I cannot make you do anything. I cannot make you believe anything. I cannot make you understand anything. All I can do is give you information. We are at the age of information, ladies and gentlemen, and information simply is knowledge. Knowledge is information, and knowledge is power. So whoever wields the knowledge has the power. But with power comes understanding. You got to understand. If you can't understand the information, it's of no value. Okay? So you got to understand the information. Then you have wisdom, the wisdom to carry it out. So the understanding is just the comprehension. You have to comprehend and then have the wisdom to carry it out. So I just want to thank you again for joining me. So that's all I'm doing right here, is giving you information so you can gain understanding, so you can have the wisdom to carry out the information and the understanding that you possess. All right. Lastly, before I begin, I just want to make a disclaimer. And the disclaimer is simply this. The disclaimer is simply this. This is not a place where you're going to get the hallelujah and the hallelujah and speaking in tongues and the flamboyant excitement. I'm not that preacher. I'm not that guy. I'm just a regular guy. I'm not here to be to entertain you. So if you think that I'm here to be entertaining to you, you're going to have an issue. So you might as well just go somewhere else. TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube have plenty subscribers that can entertain you. You can find entertainment plenty there. Also, I'm not your ordinary preacher. I'm not your average preacher. I'm not here to like I said, my goal is not to make you feel good. My goal is to give you information. What you do with that information is totally up to you, right? I'm not here to collect money from you. You're not going to hear me ask you to send your tithes and your offering or sow a seed into my ministry. You're not going to hear that here, because this is not what this is about. When I first started this ministry, I needed some equipments and I didn't have the money at the time. And so I couldn't buy the equipments. And some of my hearers said, you should be blessed. And some of my hearers went out and make it their business to send me this and send me that. And now I have all the equipment I need. I actually need one more camera, but I can afford that now. So I will get my own camera, right? But for right now, everything is good. I bought a second camera to get a side view so that when I have someone in the studio, I can, be able to have the conversation with that person and go back and forth. Also, for those who would like to go back and forth with me and you'd like to have a conversation with me, I do have a YouTube, not a YouTube, but a Zoom. I do have a Zoom account where you can go back and forth with me. Also on TikTok, if you have 1,000 views or 1,000 followers, you're able to go live with me as well. You can go live with me. We can have a conversation and we can talk. Right. So that's the goal. The goal here is to be able to dialogue. Right now, I'm speaking to you, and you're hearing me, but I can't hear you only through your comments on TikTok and Facebook. I will not take the time to answer your comments. Why? Because it will interrupt the message that I was given to share. However, what I would like to do is to have at the end of my message, would like to have like questions and answers. But sometimes my message go for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, right? Because like I said, I'm not inspired to preach the norm. I'm not inspired to preach what you're accustomed to hearing. So it's not going to be entertaining. I'm matter of fact, throughout my messages, I'm receiving information that I'm speaking. So most of the time I go back and rewatch the things I said, because some of the things that come out of my mouth, man, I'm like, ooh, and I go back and just go through it again so that for my edification. So with that said, my disclaimer is that you may not like me after the end of this message. You may not like me after the end of any message, and it's okay. I'm not here to change your minds. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here to tell you how to think. I'm here to preach a message. You have free will to come and to stay and to learn and to go ask questions and to do your own research and to go pray to the God you serve. All right. If you do not like what I say, please, I'm asking you not to come on my page and cause problems. Don't come on my page and cause problems. It's easy for you to just switch to another page. And why come and distract? Why come and distract, right? Definitely, you can DM me if you want to have a private conversation with me, or if you want to have a conversation with me on air. We can set that up. We can get it so that everybody can hear you and everybody can see you while you're talking to me, or vice versa. I can see you and I can hear you, and everybody can hear us. Or somebody we may can't see you, but we can hear you, so you can call in. I'll give you an opportunity to even call into the studio and air your baggage and air your this frustration. I don't care how you do it. If you want to cut, I'm just asking you if just to be respectful to the hearers. Just be respectful. I don't curse. I'm not expecting you to curse, but I understand that people get passionate sometimes, and it causes them to curse. So I live in this world. I understand. All right, but if you can just be respectful to the program and to the hearers and those who might not curse, as you might be offending them. All right. So with that said, let's begin. Can I just tell you? Can I just tell you? All right. So here's some things I want to tell you. Let's just start out with some things that I just set some foundational work here this morning, because again, in the disclaimer, I told you that I'm going to tell you things you do not want to hear. And I'm just going to start right out fresh so I can lose the naysayers. I just want to lose you first in the beginning, so that those who truly come to hear a word from the Most High can actually receive it. So let me lose you. I'm hoping that the things I'm about to say may disturb you, but I'm hoping that you can find the discipline in your heart to be able to say, let me hear this fool. Let me hear this fool out, and let me go prove this fool wrong. Let me prove this fool wrong, right? So here goes. First and foremost, we may not. Let me put it nicely. I'm not going to put it diplomatic. I'm not diplomatically correct. I'm not politically correct. I'm just straightforward as it comes. So let me give it to you. So we may not worship the same God. That's number one. We may not worship the same God. As a matter of fact, I looked at many people and tell them straight to their faces, we don't worship the same God. So we may not worship the same God. So it's important for you to understand and know the God who I worship. So if that's not the God you worship or the God that you believe in, then you can move on to the next page. Because I'm telling you, there's a lot of preachers out there that want to tell you what you want to hear. There's a lot of preachers out there. They're very flamboyant. They tell you, sow the seed, man. Sow the seed, sow 1,000, sow the seed. All right. They tell you all the things you want to hear by simply adding to your emotion and feelings, and tap into that and connect you there and plug you in, and they're able to just by their flamboyancy make you shout your hallelujah, make you send money, make you believe the lie. I'm not that guy. So there are preachers out there like that. If you want to hear those kind of things, if you want the hallelujah, amen kind of thing, there are preachers out there. I'm not that kind of preacher. So we may not serve the same God. It's important for you to know which God I serve. So let me tell you the God I serve. The God I serve, ladies and gentlemen, his name is Yahweh. That's the first thing. It's not Jesus, Jehovah, Jah, or what else they call him. It's not Jesus, Jehovah, or Jah. I serve Yahweh, Yahweh, Y-A''O''H, Yahweh. That is the God I serve. I know his name. And I want to say thanks to the Most High God. Now, how did I arrive at that name, ladies and gentlemen? How did I arrive at that name? Growing up in church, I have a background in Christianity. I preached here before that I am a Christian of Christians. I am a Christian of Christians. Believe me when I tell you, grow up in the church. Start this thing at a very early age. Got baptized at age 14. Okay? Baptized 3 times. All right? In 3 different denominations, searching for the truth. All right? searching for the truth, but I'm no stranger to what was given to us as the Holy Scriptures. I am no stranger to it. So when I read the Holy Scriptures and read what Yahweh said, I was kind of taken because I'm looking at what he said versus what the religion that I was a part of said, and I realized it doesn't match up with what he said, and that's why I moved from one Christian denomination to the next Christian denomination to the next Christian denomination, because I was searching for the truth. So how did I arrive at the name Yahweh? This is further advanced now into my knowledge and understanding of Scripture and being a Christian of Christians. I reached the point in my relationship with this God where I just know in my heart that I don't know him. And it took place in my life when one of the worst places in my life, when I got divorced from my ex-wife, and we had 4 children. I was devastated. And I turned my back on this God that I worship. I mean, the man, I'm going to church, baptizing people left and right, meeting people, inviting them into my house, giving them clothes, putting them up, doing all the Christian things, all the things. I mean, studying the Bible with people late at night, coming home late, going to work early, coming home late, studying the Bible with people, baptizing people in the tub, in the water river, in the lake, in the sea, wherever I can, water is. And my life is falling apart. I'm telling you, my life was falling apart. I'm doing all this thing for God, and my life is falling apart. And then when I got divorced, man, I said, it couldn't be. How can you be a God that I worship? I'm doing all these things for you, and look at the result of my life. So I was pissed off, and I turned my back on him. I said, you're not there for me. I don't want to be your servant. I'm just going to do my own thing. So I cut ties with this God. Oh, wow. I cut ties with this God, and I gave up on black women. Like I'm just done with black women. I've been hurt so many times, relationships. I gave my heart. I was just done. So not only did I give up on God, I gave up on black women. And you have to understand, because in the eyes of the world, yours truly would be a 3-time loser. Right? I had my first baby when I was 17 years old. So I started very, very young. Actually, I got the first girl I got pregnant, I was 16 years old. Right? But she didn't want to have the baby. So because she didn't want to have the baby, we broke up. And then later on, I met another girl and have a baby. Now, the girl I had a baby with, I know in my heart I wasn't going to marry this girl. I know it. And I told her straight up, we're not going to marry. You have friends with benefits, that kind of thing. But I like the girl, right? Don't get me wrong. I never use and abuse women. Every woman that I was with, I liked them. I truly liked them. Some of them I loved. But I know that I'm not going to go down that road in terms of marriage or commitment. I wasn't the guy who commits to any woman, right? So, and that stemmed from being early in my life when the first girl hurt me. I love this girl, man. I loved her with my heart, and I loved her so much I wouldn't touch her. I had this crazy love for this girl that I wouldn't. I came like I was just a mess around her. And of course, when you're a mess and you're not in control and you're not giving the woman what the woman wants, she's going to go and find what she needs someplace else. And when she broke my heart, I remember crying on my mother's breast. I wet my mother's breast with my tears. Now I'm young. I probably was about 15, somewhere around there, maybe 12, 13, 14, maybe 14, 15, somewhere around there. And so that was my first broken heart, right? And I kind of took that into my adult years because, you want to give your heart to someone, but you want to make sure you're not going to get hurt. So I wasn't giving my whole heart. I was always holding back a piece. And I think that's probably what destroyed me, is when I didn't give my heart fully. So you got to understand this, ladies and gentlemen. I learned from my mistakes that whatever you do it with your whole heart. Because if you hold back, you're going to only hurt the person and hurt yourself in the process. But anyway, so when I had my second girlfriend and she got pregnant, I knew we weren't going to be married. As a matter of fact, at that point in my life, I lived in Jamaica, and I was about to come to America. And I know there's other girls here and long distance. I wasn't going to have a long distance relationship. So I made a promise to my baby's mom, my first child's mother. And I said, okay, listen to me, hear me. I'm going to America. We're definitely not going to be together because I'm not going to do a long distance relationship. You're not going to do a long distance relationship. Move on with your life. I will be there for our son. Raise our son till the age of 13. And when he gets 13, I will come and get him and take him the rest of the way. But for now, I will make sure I do my part to make sure that I take care of him and so on and so forth. So that's what I did. That's what I did. And we stayed in contact. I went to Jamaica. I came here in 1990, and then I went back in 95, and then I went back in 2003. And then my son came and lived with me for good. All right. So that was the first experience I had with a child. And, so I came to America now, and shortly after, 2 years after, I met this girl, fell in love again. I don't know what's up with me and this falling in love thing, but I was always a Christian in my mind. Even though I was out there doing some things I know I'm not supposed to do, I was always a Christian in my mind. And so, I met this girl, fall in love with her. I thought she was the one. I'm going to marry this girl, man. This is it. This, because in my heart, I always want to have a family early in life. I didn't want to wait till I'm 45. I didn't want to wait till I'm 30 to start having children. I wanted to start having my children now because in my mind, I calculated, I said, my oldest child, when I'm 45, my oldest child should be 15. Because I wanted to play ball. I want to be able to still outrun them and, be there. I want people to look at them and think they're my brothers. You know what I mean? Because that's how my family, my mother and my grandmother was like all our mothers. People think my grandmother was my mom and my mother was my sister. If you look at my mother today and we hug, you would think, that she's my sister. And sometimes people think that she is my wife because we're always hugging. We're huggers in this family, right? So I wanted my children to grow up with me, and I'm still able at a young age to do things with them. And so I met this girl, and she got pregnant, and then it was chaos in my life. And I'm telling you why it was chaos, because the mother did not approve of her pregnancy, and she was underage. She was 17, and I was turning 19. So she was turning 17, and she was 17, and I was turning 19. So technically, in America, she was underage. I could go to jail. It was a whole nightmare. So she sent her to Jamaica because she was half Jamaican, half Chinese, and she sent her to Jamaica to not be with me, right? Because we were two peas in a pot then. I would skull work to be with her. She would skull school to be with me. It was crazy, right? All of this time in my mind, I'm a Christian because I was brought up in the Christian. So I always wanted to get married. I always want to do things right. I don't want to live in fornication. I don't want to live in sin. So, you know what I mean? So I'm always mindful of my actions, but being a teenager, man, things goes. Well, long story short, once she sent her back to Jamaica, they found out she's pregnant, and she was 3 months pregnant. And long story short, it was chaos. Anyway, I have a house in Jamaica, and I decided, all right, since you sent her to Jamaica to get rid of me, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go down there, marry her, and live a life down there with her, because I got a house already. I was studying to go to Alkin Aluminum. It was a backside company that I would have gone and make good money before I came here. So I would have just gone and just go back down there and just have a big life with her down there. So when I told her, the mother, that, she got pissed off. All right, so that's not going to work. I'm going to bring her back here. So by bringing her back, now she can control the narrative. So she said, oh, well, you have to pay the fare for her to come back. Half the fare. No problem. So I paid half the fare. She came back. She came and saw me. 3 months pregnant. I was so excited about that. I was so excited about it. But then something happened. A turn took place now. The mother is pressuring her to have an abortion. She must have an abortion. She's young. She's going to destroy her life. Blah, blah, blah. Look at me. Blah, 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 blah. It got so bad that I would tell my boss, man, that I would start lying to my boss to get time off so that I can keep her at my house. Now I live with my grandfather. My mother and I live with we live with our father at this time. So to keep her at my house, I have to hide her in the back. I'm telling you, I'm telling you guys, I have a history that brought me to where I'm at today. I'm just giving you just a little bit. I won't take too long to go through my history because I want to get to the good stuff. But some of you might be going through what I've been through, and you may need to hear some of these things because you're looking to a God to help you and come down and reach down and save you. And you've been praying about this thing or that thing or one thing forever, and nothing seems to be happening. And you're doubting yourself, and you're wondering if God hears you, if Yahweh hears you, and you're questioning your relationship with him. And I'm telling you that he's there. He's never left. He will never leave nor forsake you. You got to understand that there's certain things you got to go through, because those things, ladies and gentlemen, is going to tighten and heighten and elevate your relationship and understanding with him to the point where, man, the connection that you're gonna have with him will be so amazing. It's like phone to phone charger. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen. And what you're going through now in the dispensation of the time that you're going through, don't you dare ever think he's not with you. I am with you. I will never leave nor forsake you. He's with you. You just got to understand that there's certain things that you have to go through. There's certain level that you have to get to in order to have that connection. And when you have that connection, ladies and gentlemen, life for you will never be the same. Long story short, she wanted an abortion. I kept her hidden for about 2 months. And she wanted to have an abortion at 5 months old. She was 5 months pregnant. I can't believe the love of my life is going to have an abortion. And destroy me, man. Destroy me. And I remember telling her, I said, listen, if you go have an abortion, we're over. I want to see you again, ever. You go do what you got to do. And she left my house. And I didn't see her again for another 6 months. 5 months, 4 months. I didn't see her again for another 4 months. Didn't see nor heard from her. Because in my mind, I believe that she went to have the abortion. She actually went, but it was so risky that the doctor said it's too risky. The baby's fully developed. So yeah, but I didn't know anything about that. So during that time, like I don't know, it's like I was destined to be with someone, destined to start my life. During that time, I met and fell in love. 4 months, within that 4 months, my brother, I was so brokenhearted over this. I could not think, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't work properly. It was affecting my whole life. And my cousin took me to an invitation party one night. He said, man, come on, let me just take you to this party, man, get your mind free. And in that mess, I met the woman, which I thought now that could ease the pain in my heart and set me on the right track. I met this girl, man. I saw her. She was with a bunch of guys, and I noticed that she, different guys are dancing with her, but she's not, dedicated to any one guy. And I'm thinking, okay, they must be friends. So in my craziness, I went over there, and I don't know why I went over there, but I just went over there, and I just said, hey, can I just dance? And she kept looking at me. She looked at my face. She kept looking at me like, and she didn't answer me. I think she thought I was drunk or something. And I just moved in for the kill. I'm like, well, hey, what do I have to lose? And I just grabbed her, and we just started dancing. We danced the whole night. And I left, and I went somewhere to drop somebody home. And then I came back, the party was done, and she and her friend was there. And the host of the party asked us if we could take them home. And that's how we met. Met 6 months later, we were married. You understand me? It's crazy, man. So I didn't get a chance to know most of these women in my life, man. So, I blame the women, but I blame myself because I didn't get a chance to know most of the women. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to me today, get the chance to know the one you call lover. Yeah, get the chance. Dating is such a program that I'm learning now. It's such a program that tells you that if this doesn't work on, move to the next guy, And it spoils us because it teaches us to give up. It teaches us not to go all in. Dating teaches, oh, see if it works. If it doesn't work, then move on, right? And so dating can be very, very dangerous. When you meet a guy, you're supposed to want to get to know the guy before you even having sex, before you kiss, even before you hold hands. There's a thing called quoting someone. You're supposed to get to know them, get to know their lives, their dreams, aspiration, get to know, their family structure, how they were brought up, single parent, double parent. Get to know this, get to see them, see your life with them, get to understand them, see what they're like. Gentlemen, you're dating a woman, see what she's like without makeup before you make a choice. Most of the women today wear weave and makeup. You may not like what you see after they take the makeup and the weave off. You see a woman and she's skinny and she look good and she but you may not like what she looked like 5 years from now when you're with her and she put on some weight. So all of these things, don't just look at a woman and go, oh man, wow. You know what I mean? Yeah, she's fine and everything. You get to know her with the makeup off. Get to know her with the weave off. Get to know her aspiration, what type of woman she would be for you. Is she going to be the woman that's going to help you to accelerate and get to where you need to be? So that is she going to be your helper? See, all these things I didn't learn, right? So all of these mistakes that I've made, I'm hoping that I can tell you today that you don't make these mistakes. Or even if you're in a situation where you feel like you're trapped, you can now free yourself, because in order for your relationship to change, you have to change. In order for things to change, you have to change. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand? Okay, so these things will help you. But as I'm growing through my process, I'm learning these things, but I'm learning in the moment. Sometimes you got to learn things as you go. Sometimes you should learn things before you go. Sometimes you learn things after you've gone. So whatever situation you're in, it's an opportunity for you to learn some things. All right. So as time goes on, we had 4 children, very, very one behind the other. We had the first child, then we had the second child 11 months later. Yeah, we didn't wait the full 6 weeks. And then we had the third child a year later, and we had the fourth child a year later. And then we had 2 more kids, which is not here. I don't want to get into that, right? But during that time, my life was a mess. I was working all the time. I had a plan, I had a goal, aspiration to be wealthy. I had an aspiration to get to a place of comfort, and I had a plan. It was awesome, but I didn't have a woman that understand those plans. I didn't have a woman that understands. You see, in my courtship, we never talked about these things. I should have talked about these things. She saw my ambition, she saw my drive, but she never understood the plan. And so when I moved towards the plan, she felt left behind. No, you weren't left behind. Your job was to be home supporting the plan. Your job was supposed to be home taking care of the kids. And that's why she was a stay-at-home mom. But stay-at-home mom made her idle. Stay-at-home mom made her feel like she's losing out. I'm out there. I'm getting with people. People know my name, and she's just in here with the children. And she just felt like she was trapped and she's not having fun. So she started going to clubs and she started doing all these things. Now, again, like I told you, ladies and gentlemen, I am a Christian. I was a Christian in my mind. So I don't want to do the club thing. I don't want to do this. I want to go my life in a certain way. I want to live my life a certain way. So now we became unequally yoked. Long story short, we got a divorce. Sadly. And I was, as they say, I was ass out, as they say, right? And it was crazy, because now I'm looking back at my life, man. I'm 3-time loser. I'm now in my mother's couch in her living room. That's where I'm at. After all these years working and striving, serving this God who I claim to know, after all these years, I'm asked out in my mother's couch, no help coming, no money, nothing, no credit, nothing, no children, none of my children is with me, nothing. So you can see where I was. I was destroyed in my mind and my heart. And I said, okay, that's it. I'm done with you. I'm done with you as my God. I'm going to become my own God. I didn't say it like that before. I didn't say it like that. But when I was done with him, that's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I did. But I didn't verbally express that. I was done with you as God. You can't be no God. You don't serve your people. You don't bless your people. Look at those people out there. They don't serve you. They don't care about you. But look at them. They're flourishing. Look at that guy. I know he's a drug dealer. Look at that guy. I know he's a murderer. But he has a big house and he got family and he got cars and money and jewelry. And, look at that guy over there. He cheated on his taxes. He do all kind of stuff. You start to compare other people's lives with yours. And you're saying, wait a minute, they don't serve you, but look at them. And you're like, okay, do I need to not serve you in order to be this way? What's the deal? So I turned my back on him. I didn't want to hear nothing about no God. I didn't want to hear about no Christianity. I didn't want to hear about nothing. And I was done with black women. You see, as you can see, my journey with black women, it was just not good. Regardless of the fact that I may be the one that create all these issues, it wasn't good. So I was done with black women. So I'm deciding I'm going to date any other woman except black women. And if I date a black woman, it's just going to be for sex. It's just going to be for sex. And that's how I lived my life for a little bit. But again, in my mind, you see, there's a scripture in the Bible that says, if you train up the child the way he should grow, when he's old, he'll not depart. I was trained up. I was brought up to be a Christian in my mind. I didn't understand Christianity. I just understand that, okay, through this Christianity, through my religion, I will meet with this God. But I've already met this God. I already, grew up with this God. I did the Sunday church thing. I did the Sunday church thing. I did the Sabbath church, the Sunday church thing. I did the Sunday school thing. I did it all, man. And like I told you, I was out there preaching on the trains, driving out demons, baptizing people left and right, studying the Bible. This was my daily life. So when I got to that point, when I was just done. So when you're done with God and you're done with black women, where you stand? You're left in a void, trying to find yourself. How do you go? Where do you go from now? But I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, once you have a connection with this God, or once he has a connection with you, he will not let you go. You might say you're done, but he's not done with you yet. Okay? You might give up on him, but he have not given up on you. He knew and he know that you're misguided, misunderstood, lost, and scattered. He knows that religion has tied you down. The very word religion means to tie down. Did you know that? That's part of its definition, to bond, to tie down. So he knows that you're trapped in a belief system that will never get you to him. He knows this. So the only way he can actually get your attention is if he allows you to fall. I want you to write that down seriously. Because some of you are going through some things right now. And that's why I felt like this morning, I'm inspired to just tell you. And this message, if you're just joining us, is titled, Can I Just Tell You? Because I was praying this morning as I was shaving and I was asking Yahweh, what should I preach this morning? What should I talk about? And there's some other things that came into my mind, but as I was brushing my teeth and putting some oil in my beard, Can I Just Tell You came into my mind. And I'm like, okay, I didn't even know what I'm going to talk about. Because I tell you guys, if you're a regular listener here, I don't plan message. I don't go sit down and plan it right down. No. Anytime you see me look at a piece of paper, it's information I'm giving you. All right. Or something inspiring that came to my mind and I know I'm going to forget it. So I write it down. But I'm not the preacher who will preach and no, I'm going to tell you what God tells me. I'm going to tell you what he tells me. So some of you going through some things right now and you think you're lost. And you're in a very, very good place right now. You don't even know it because you're comparing yourself to others. You're comparing yourself to others. You're comparing yourself to others. You look at yourself and you say, this is not how I'm supposed to look. You look at yourself and you say, this is not how I'm supposed to be. This is where I'm supposed to be. You look at the time and your age and you said, man, I'm 40 this, I'm 30 this, I'm 60 this, and I still don't have this. And you judge yourself based upon your current situation. And I'm telling you that this is where you're supposed to be. I know it sounds crazy. You might say, Mike, you as a maker, you don't know what I'm going through. I don't need to know what you're going through. I just know that you're going through it. Take it from a guy, man, who got to that place in my craziness to the point of depression, to the point of, man, I don't feel worthy to stay on this earth anymore. I don't feel worthy to be alive anymore. Why? Because I turned my back on God. I turned my back on my black women. I just felt like I was in a void. And I felt suicidal. I felt like, I could just end my own life. What is the point of living? Because I compare myself to the fact that I don't have a house. I don't have a car. I don't have what I wanted. I'm getting older. And I'm going to say it one more time, and I hope you're listening. This is right where you're supposed to be. Because now you're opening. You see, when you try to go through your ideology and your ways and your religion and your church and your pastors and your government, you never see Yahweh. Because once you have to go through these entities to get to him, you will never see him because he doesn't work through these entities. And I'm telling you, it's crazy. He doesn't work through your governments. He doesn't work through your legislators. He doesn't work through your religious leaders. He doesn't work through your religion. He doesn't work through your church. He worked through his spirit in you. So if you can get to that understanding. So all these things that are happening to you are deliberate. They were meant for you to go through. And I just want you to just remember this and write this down. I'm going through these things. And you say it all the time. You're not meant to stay in these things. The problem is, ladies and gentlemen, and let me just do this for you right now. Let me just show you something real quick. So in my hand is a business card. If I put it up to you this way, you might be able to see the writing on there. So let me go over here on Facebook first. And if you go up here, you might see that, right? But I want you to now take a look at it. Can you see it? Why can you not see it? You see what I'm saying? If you get this, man, your life's going to change. All right, watch this now. Can you see this? Can you make it out? Can you understand it? Let me do that with you guys up there. Can you see it now? Can you make it out? Can you understand it? Now, why can't you understand it? Why can't you see it? When something is so close up to your face and your vision, it's very hard to see. No matter how much you focus your eyes, no matter how much you try, you will never make it out. Your life is so much your focus that you cannot see where you're going. And when it's too far, it's out of focus. You need focus in order to see. I'm giving you guys gem. Can I just tell you? You need to be able to focus. It needs to be in range. See that? It needs to be in range. See, if it's in range, you can see it. And so when you look at your life so closely, ladies and gentlemen, all you get is fog and confusion and disappointment and hurt and pain. You got to focus. And I'm asking you today to focus on him. I'm asking you today to focus on him, not your current situation, not your government, your religion, your pastors, your preachers, your teachers, not even you. You need to focus on him. And that's what happened to me throughout all my chaos and everywhere I'm at. That is what happened to me. I was brought to a place where all my focus was on me. If you listen to your prayers, if God Yahweh was able to play back your prayers to you, if he was able to do that to you right now, if you were able to write down everything you pray about, all the topics you prayed about, you will see that the focus is mostly on yourself, what you will do if God does this, and on other people, what this, and how you would bless them. And you will see, but you're focusing not on him. If you see how many times you focus your prayer and said, let your will be done in my life. What is your plan for me today, oh great God of the universe? That's why when I get up in the morning, I used to get up in the morning and find my quiet place and pray. It's not effective. It's not an effective prayer. You know, you lock in your closet and you pray, and you're trying to touch everything. I pray for good favor today. I pray for this person. I pray for that person. Pray. And you're not, and your prayers are not effective because it's not focused on the one thing you should be praying about, which is his will to be done in your life. Trust in the Most High God, Proverbs 3, verse 5 and 6. Trust in Yahweh with all your heart. Lean not unto your own understanding. In all of your ways, not some, all of your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. That is when my prayer has become effective, because it's no longer about it's no longer about my will. It's about his will be done in my life. And that is how my life changed. The depression, gone. The not being married, gone. He done gave me a brand new black woman when I was not looking for it. Walks through the door, turned my eyes over. We've been together we've been married now 19 beautiful years. In that 19 years, we must have 5 or 6 blowout. And that's when I put such an expectation on her that she did not know how to operate around me. I was creating an atmosphere for her that she couldn't function in because she couldn't be herself. And that was 9 years ago. I came to that realization, and I went to Yahweh and I brought it to Yahweh and I prayed to him. I said, hey, help me in my marriage. What am I not seeing? What am I not missing? What am I missing? And I realized that I have a superficial expectation. The expectation that I have for my wife is for my wife to do my will. And I forgot that she's a person and she needs to be free in the relationship. And once I understood that, ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen, let me talk to them, a gentleman right now. Once I understood that, man, it changed my life, because I don't have any expectation from my wife. I have none. I have one. I expect her to be herself in this marriage. Because if she truly loved me, my love for her, ladies and gentlemen, and these are something I've learned, my love for her does not depend on her. I don't need her to do something for me to love her. I don't need her to come sex me up and hold me down and do all these things for me to love her. I don't need her to be here for me to love her. My love is given to her. I gave it to her. So it's not dependent upon her. That means if she treats me bad, I still love her, because her treatment towards me does not depend on my love. Can I deal with the bad stuff she's doing? Yes, I'm going to deal with that. I'm going to get to it. But it doesn't change my love for her, because I've given her that. These are the things I've learned. So I removed all expectations, man, and I was free of the burdens. I was free of all those burdens to let her be herself. And by my leadership of giving and serving rubs off on her. Now she gives and serves to me. The more I give her, the more she gives me. And that is a scripture that says it's better to give than to receive. So if you become a giver, here's one of the biggest problems that most people have in their relationship, in their lives, in their work. Here's one of the biggest problems that you're having and you don't even realize. Let me tell you, here's a secret. You're not a servant. You think being a servant is beneath you. So you won't do the little things. You won't give your heart because somebody's supposed to be doing that for you. You think you're entitled. You think you deserve it. How many people, I deserve that. And you don't realize you don't deserve nothing. You deserve death. So once you understand these things and become a servant, the greatest amongst you shall be your servant. Not your slave, your servant. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, find a way to serve your gifts to others. And let me tell you something, they'll throw money at you. Because your gift will make room for you. Trust me. I was in a basement, in a moldy basement. And I moved from the moldy basement. When I started to be grateful for that moldy basement, I had somewhere to live with my family. And I kept that basement as moldy and nasty as it was. I cleaned that basement up because my family was there. I was there. I was grateful for it. I didn't like the fact that I was there, but I was there. And he put me there, right? And then when we move out of that basement, we move into a trailer. I've never lived in a trailer before, okay? I came from Jamaica. I came from a great life. And I came here to learn suffering, okay? And I came from the basement to a trailer. And let me tell you something, the trailer was like heaven. The basement was like hell. The trailer was like heaven. We had our own space. We had our own everything. We didn't have to worry about where our food is going to be. We didn't have to rush. I'd get up early in the morning to use the toilet and get up late to take a shower because there were 9 of us in that one family house with 3 dogs. All right. So now having a basement, now it was me, my wife, and children in the trailer. Having a trailer, it was me, my wife, and the children in the trailer. We felt so free again. I could walk around in my underwear again. You see what I'm saying? I had that freedom. You understand me? It was awesome. We loved that trailer. We stayed in that trailer for 2 years. And we kept that trailer so nice, and we paid our bills and paid our rent. And the owner of the trailer park said, we are the best tenants they ever had. Why? Because we served. We served. If we're going to be late on the rent, I call them in advance. Hey, listen, I'm going to be late on the rent. Maybe about a week late. After that, I'll have the rent for you. If I'm going to be more than a week, I'm telling them I'm going to be more than a week. If I just kept it real. When I go to shovel the snow, I didn't just shovel the snow around my trailer. I shovel the snow around the trailer next to me and the trailer on both sides. When I cut the lawn, I didn't just cut the lawn, my lawn around me. I cut my neighbor's lawn and I cut my lawn. It's service to others lead to greatness. I just serve. I'm a servant. Are you a servant? Can I just tell you? Become a servant. The greatest amongst you shall be a servant. Serve your gift to the world. And they will throw, listen to me and hear me, throw money at you. They will throw it at you. When you serve your gift, you don't have to charge. And if you think I'm kidding, just look at Michael Jordan. Most of you know Michael Jordan, so I'm using him. Look at Steve Jobs. Most of you know him. Look at what's that guy named, the computer genius? Look at him. Bill Gates. He served his gift to the world, and now he conquered the world. Everybody that is famous, everybody that is rich, they serve their gifts. Tom Cruise became an actor and served his gift to the world. And they throw money. You won't go looking for them. They'll come looking for you. You become a fruit. Just become a tree that bears fruit. Your fruits, you're known by the fruits. So if your tree is empty, ain't nobody coming unless they're looking for shade. And people can get shade anywhere. But no matter where your tree is, no matter where your tree is planted, if you bear fruits, people will come. They will come. They will find it. They will find the fruit. Somebody's going to stumble upon it. It may take a little while, but you may bear all your fruit and all. You may bear all your fruits, and all your fruit fall off the tree. And only the birds get it, and the worms get it, and the squirrel get it. But guess what? You're providing a service even for the animals. And if you're doing that, then Yahweh is going to bless you because you're providing a service even for the animals. But one day, ladies and gentlemen, someone's going to find your fruit, and they're going to harness your fruit and take it to the marketplace. All right? Serve your gift to others. So at that point, ladies and gentlemen, I became broken, and I was at the right place. I was at the right place. I was at the place where I started not looking at. I took a really good look at myself. See, most of you are not taking a look at yourself. You're blaming this and that in this area and that area. You're blaming your past, and your present is suffering for it. And you have not taken a look at yourself. You have not taken a deep look at yourself. You got to take a look at yourself, ladies and gentlemen. You got to take a look at yourself. You got to take responsibility for where you are. Now, I'm not saying that you're the reason for where you are today. I'm not saying it's all your fault. That's not what I'm saying. Yes, it could be society. Yes, it could be that nasty husband, boyfriend. Yes, it could be the areas in which you were born. It could be a whole lot of things. Yes, they all play a factor. They all play a part. But you can't go around blaming someone for where you are. You got to take responsibility for where you are. You gotta just say, hey man, I don't know how I got here. Or maybe you can say, I know how I got here, but that's not important. Because my yesterday does not determine my today. My past does not determine my future. Who I am today, who I'm becoming today, will determine my tomorrow. Take responsibility. If you're a drunkard, take responsibility for that. For whatever reason that got you drinking to become a drunkard, take responsibility. If you're on drugs, take responsibility for that. Just take responsibility. It's you. You gotta have that oneness with you. Before you have that, before you can be a man or a woman of God, you have to first be a man or a woman. You understand what I'm saying? And what I'm saying to you, before you can be one with him, you got to be one with yourself. Take responsibility for where you are today. If you're in the basement, praise God. Praise Yahweh. And once you get to that place where you can praise him, and once you can get to that place where you can be thankful, you're still alive. In that mess, you're on drugs, you're doing all these things, you're selling your body in the streets, whatever the case may be. Once you can take responsibility that you're not dead, you're still alive, things can get better today for you. Once you start taking responsibility and speak positively to yourself, then you will be in a position to ask him some questions. And that what happened to me, ladies and gentlemen. Once my life was restored, once my sight was restored, once my mind was free, you see, you free your mind and the rest will follow. Once my mind was free, I was able to now focus on the one who has a plan for me, a hope for me, a future for me. I can now look to him to reveal that to me. And so the first thing I did when I went to him, I said, I want to know you. Write that down, somebody. If you're listening to me attentively this morning, I want you to write that down. Until you get to that place, man, you're just going to be wandering in the wilderness until you perish. Get to that place where you can just look up for yourself and said, I want to know you. Not through some religion, not through some Mecca Albania Oshiral who's preaching on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, not through some government, not through some religion, not through some church, but I want to know you for me. I want to connect with you. I want you to connect with me. I want to know you by your spirit and your word. If you can't get to that place, ladies and gentlemen, you will be lost and be forever lost. You have to get to that place where you truly want to know him. And when you get to that place, man, I'm telling you, in closing, be ready. Be ready, because he's going to take you some places and he's going to strip you down. You may leave the country you were born in. You may leave the people you're around. You may leave the family. Don't be afraid to pack up and leave. Some of you just, you're saying, man, I want to leave this place. I want to leave this town. I want to leave this house. And you're so concerned because you don't got no money. You don't got no credit. You don't got nothing. And you want to leave, but you can't leave. You want to change, but you can't change because you don't got this. You don't got this. You don't got this. And you see, that's you. You don't got it. But he, all the gold and all the silver is his. All the cattle on 1,000 hill is his. Everything is his. And if you truly want to know him and he truly needs you to move, then all you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you some secret now. I'm giving you some gems here. Pack up your stuff. Sell what you can't carry or put away in the storage what you can't carry if you want to come back for it later. Pack up your stuff, because until you pack up, you're not ready to move. I don't care what you say. I don't care how you say it. I don't care how much plan you make, how much write down you did. I don't care how much thing you pay for. Until you pack up, ladies and gentlemen, you're not ready to move. I'm giving you gems, man. My life's changed. Trust me. I'm not talking to you from some hearsay. I'm not speaking to you from some other person's experience. I'm not speaking to you by some religion or some government or some church. I'm speaking to you from a personal relationship with this God and a personal experience. That's how I'm speaking to you. Pack up. Just pack up your stuff. And then said, all right, Father, where to? I'm telling you, he will send you the movers. He will send you the place where you're going to stay. He will send you to the city you're going to be in. Now, you may not like where you're going. You may not like where you're staying. It might not meet your qualification. But trust me, that's where you need to be. When you do these things, you're going to have a connection with him and a relationship with him like never before. That's how I know the name Yahweh. Through my connection with him. I was calling him every name the Bible tells me to call him. And every name that other people call him. And every title that other people call him. And one day it hit me. I don't care what other people call you. I don't care what the church call you, what the religion call you. I want to, what is your name? I asked the Most High God, what is your name? Don't think this is strange. This is biblical. Moses, Masha, asked the Most High God, what is your name? Now it's written in Exodus that he said the Lord. But further study of the name Lord showed me that that could never be his name. Because when you call the name Lord, you're not calling the name of the one true God. You're actually calling the name of another God. Just study it out. You don't have to believe nothing I say. But if you hold to what I'm saying and do what I'm saying, you're going to have a connection with this God that's going to blow you out of the water. And then you're going to be doing what I'm doing and saying what I'm saying. The name Lord is not our God. That's the name of a sun god named Bel. Bel Por. Baal. 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 So whenever you use the word Lord and the name Lord, you're not speaking about the Lord your God. You know, when Exodus 20, I like this. Exodus 20 is such a powerful scriptures, man. It says here, listen to what he said to his people. Exodus 20 says, and God. Now, even the very word God, I'm so accustomed to saying God because I grew up on this word. But the actual word for God, there's Alaim. Now, the Muslims call out Allah. Now, you must know that Allah is not the same as Alaim. Allah is not the God of the scriptures. It's not the God who created heaven and earth. Allah is another God. That's something you got to study out as well, right? That's something you have to study out as well. But Alaim is the true source language of the name given, the title given to the Father. Alaim, Adonai Alaim, which is now translated, my ear is ringing, which is now translated Lord God. The actual source language says Adonai, not Adonai, Adonai Alaim. That is the actual source language. But his real name, and Adonai Alaim, Lord thy God, is a title. It is not a name. So when he says, and Yahweh spake all these words. So the writer Moses, which his real name is Masha, the writer Masha is telling the story, telling the event, and he says, and God said. You see, if this was God speaking right here in this writing, it wouldn't says, and God said. That means somebody's telling you what God said, right? What Yahweh said. All right. When Yahweh said it, he would said, I am. That's what he would have said. He would said, I am. And that's what he said. If you read verse 2, it says, I am not the Lord, but I am Yahweh, your Alaim, who has brought you out of the land of Egypt. So he's introducing himself. I am that God who have brought you out of Egypt, out of the land out of the house of bondage, out of the land of Egypt. When he introduced himself, he's telling you who he is. I am Yahweh, your God. And that's why I start this program in my disclaimer, I tell you, we do not worship the same God. If you worship a triune God, we do not worship the same God. My God is not a Trinitarian God. He's not a Trinity. He's not 3 in 1 or 1 in 3. He's one God. Okay? He is one God. And he's introducing himself to us. And he's telling us he is that God that brought you out of the land of Egypt. And so, ladies and gentlemen, you're still in the land of Egypt today, spiritually in America. And only this God can bring you out of the land of Egypt. And before he can do this, he has to free your mind. You have to know what he says. And your situation and everything you're going through right now has brought you to this place. So when I ask him his name, ladies and gentlemen, I asked him his name. And he brought me to the ravenous bird. I suggest you guys look up the ravenous bird all over YouTube. Or you can go to yahosharal.com and check him out, classes there. But I suggest before you do that, go to the Ravenous Bird on YouTube and look up a message, the name of God. As a matter of fact, just go punch up the Ravenous Bird and watch some of these things. That's where he brought me. And when he brought me to that and I found the name Yahweh, something resonated in my spirit immediately. But I wasn't going to take anybody's word for it. I tell you all the time, ladies and gentlemen, I don't take people's word for nothing. I hear you, but I'm not going to swallow that pill. I'm going to do my own research. I'm going to pray to God, my own God, because we may not serve the same God. You may tell me about another God. So I got to make sure that that God that you're telling me, that God that you're pointing me to is the same God that we're talking about. And I spoke to this God and I said, I'm going to put your name to the test. If that is your name, I'm going to put it to the test. Because I want to have that connection with you. I want to know that when I go out there and tell people your name is Yahweh, I am not misleading people. So before I go out and tell people your name is Yahweh, let me see your name work in my life. And ladies and gentlemen, I've been calling upon the name of Yahweh. And from a house, from a trailer park to an apartment, and from apartment to a 4,000 square foot house, his blessing will reign over you. The other day I said, I need a car because my car, I bottom out my car and I said, Father, I need a car. And I'm picking up a car today. Even, ladies and gentlemen, if I have the money in my pocket and I can just go buy a car, I don't just go buy a car. I have to bring it to the Father. And yesterday I went out to have some fun. A friend, a co-worker invited me out to their house for barbecues, which I end up barbecuing. You can look at my page, you'll see it. And a guy came there who I knew as well, who was selling his car. So I didn't have to go search for the car. And I was searching all day yesterday and searching, going on Marketplace searching. And God said, I'm going to bring you one. And I got it for a good car for a great price. And I'm going to pick that up today. I'm telling you, if you trust him, he will deliver you out of bondage, out of the captivity and the inclination and the thoughts and the imagination of your mind. He will make you free. He will make you free, but you gotta want it. So that is my message to you. I will do a part 2 on this message because I think people need to know more, and I'm not going to go longer than 1 hour, 20 minutes today. But people need to know more. People need to know more and hear it. So I'm here to tell you. And I'm telling you my story. I add my story into it to let you know that I'm speaking to you from experience. I'm not speaking to you from a place of hearsay or somebody else say, or I see somebody. I'm telling you what happened to me. He restored my soul. He leaded me by the path of still waters. Yea, though I walk to the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness, come on now somebody. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. For 4 I will dwell in the house of the Most High God forever. I leave you with this. I leave you with this, my friend. Zephaniah 3, verse 17. Yahweh, thy God, Alaim in the midst of thee is mighty. He will save. He will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest in his love. He will joy over thee with singing. Joshua 1:9. Have not I command thee? Be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for your Adonai Alaim is with thee wherever thou goest. Isaiah 41:13. For I, the Adonai, your Alaim, will hold thy right hand. Say unto thee, fear not, I will help thee. Deuteronomy 4:29 says, but if from hence thou shalt seek the Adonai, thy Alaim, your Alaim, thou shalt find him if you seek him with all your heart and with all your soul. Psalm 73 verse 25. Whom have I in heaven but thee? And there is none upon earth that I desire beside thee. Psalms 56:3. What time I am afraid, I will trust in thee. Isaiah 25 verse 1. O Adonai, thou art my Alaim. I will exalt thee. I will praise thy name, Yahweh, for thou hast done wonderful things. Thy counsel of old are faithful and true. Psalms 31 verse 3. For thou art my rock and my fortress. Therefore, for thy name's sake, lead me and guide me. Samuel 7:22. Wherefore thou art great, O Alaim, Adonai Alaim, for there is none like thee, neither is there any Alaim besides thee, according to all that we have heard with our ears. There is no God beside him. So he's not 3 in 1 or 1 in 3. He's one God. These are the things that you need to understand. These are things you need to know. Because if you don't know these things, ladies and gentlemen, you're worshiping another God. Let me hit 2 more. I'll hit 2 more. Psalms 34 verse 8. Oh, taste and see that the Adonai is good. Blessed is the man that trusts in him. Oh, taste and see. You see, when I said I will put your name to the test, I am going to test your name, because if it is your name, then blessings will follow that name. If it is your name, then miracles will follow that name. If it is your name, then signs will follow that name. If it is your name, then you will uphold your name, because you told us in your word, thou shalt not take your name in vain. So I test the name. Yahweh is the name. Last one, Isaiah 60 verse 1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Adonai is rising upon thee. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you. Now that might be difficult for you to understand. That might be difficult for you to understand when I say I love you. But only love could get me up so early in the morning with a message to give to you. It's out of love for Yahweh and love for you. And believe it or not, love for myself. I love you because my love for you does not depend on you. It does not depend on you loving me, hearing me, understanding me, or even respecting me. I can choose to love you even if you hate me. But I made a decision because he is love, then I have to be a reflector of that love. And that's why I'm bringing to you these words out of obedience and love for him first, then for you. You can do whatever you want, whatever you will. You have a choice and you're free to make it. Just know this for certain. There will be consequence. There will be consequence and reward to the choice you made. The choice is yours. Join me, today's on Monday? Join me tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If I'm running a little late, just stay tuned. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right here, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok live. If you're joining me on Facebook, my name is Michael L. Sewell, SR. If you're joining me on YouTube, my name is Michael L. Sewell, SR. If you're joining me on TikTok, my name is Mekaal Ban Yahoshoral. Mekaal Ban Yahoshoral. These are the medium and media that I choose to use to deliver his words throughout the nations. I pray that you like. I pray that you share these pages with your friends, with your neighbors. There's messages there that will lead them to salvation. Lastly, I have two other page on TikTok that I would like for those who have a TikTok account to really go and get it up to 1,000, so that we can have a backup. And the first one is Michael Sewell 98. Michael Sewell 98. Go and like that page, bring that to 1,000 to give me a platform. So if for any reason I'm banned off this one, we can go and start another one, right? The second one is Say What? TMB. Say What? TMB. That's my second page on TikTok. Please help me to get to 1,000 on those, because I cannot go live without 1,000 followers. So if you have a TikTok account, please ask your friends, your neighbors, your cousins, your enemies. Hey man, go like this page from Mike Sewell, and just let's get him up there. All right. I love you and thank you. If you do want to reach out to me, please DM me. You DM me. You know my page, and I'll give you my phone number, and we will. You can call me, and we can talk, and we can have a one-on-one, right? But DM me on messengers, on the chat lines, and we can talk. And what I will try to do tonight at 8 o'clock, if you have questions, write them in the comments. And what I will do is I'll write those questions, and I probably would start with your questions so I can answer those questions. And then we can move on to part 2 of Can I Just Tell You? I love you guys. Until next time, Mekaal Ban Yahoshoral.